Do you ever sit in your room, phone in your hand, scrolling without even realizing what you're looking at, and then suddenly an hour passes, maybe two, and you don't even remember what you saw? And it's not just your phone, it's your whole life. You wake up, do what you're supposed to do, say what you're expected to say, smile when you have to, and then go back to bed wondering why something feels off. Not painful enough to scream about, but not peaceful enough to ignore. And you start thinking, why do I feel like this? Why does everything feel so empty? But the truth is, you don't hate your life. You're just living on autopilot. Welcome to the Silent Growth Talks, a space where we slow down, reflect, and grow, quietly, but powerfully. If something here feels like it's speaking directly to you, you can stay, maybe even subscribe, but only if it feels right to you. No pressure, just presence. There was a time when Adam didn't realize anything was wrong. On the outside, his life looked fine. He had a routine, a job, friends he talked to occasionally, a family that believed he was doing okay. Nothing dramatic, nothing broken, but every day felt exactly the same. He would wake up just before his alarm, not because he was well rested, but because his mind was already running, thinking about things he hadn't done, things he needed to do, things he was avoiding. He would reach for his phone almost instantly, scroll through notifications, open apps, jump from one thing to another, not because he wanted to, but because silence felt uncomfortable. Because in silence, his thoughts got louder. He never questioned it at first, because this is what everyone does, right? Wake up, rush, distract yourself, get through the day, come back tired, repeat. It's normal, but normal doesn't always mean healthy. One evening, after another long, forgettable day, Adam sat on his bed still holding his phone, staring at nothing in particular. And for the first time in a long time, he didn't open anything. He just sat there. And something strange happened. He felt restless, not physically, but mentally, like his mind was searching for something to grab onto. A notification, a message, a distraction. Anything but this. Anything but being here. And that's when it hit him. Why can't I just sit with myself? Why does doing nothing feel so heavy? Why does silence feel like something I need to escape from? That question didn't leave him. It followed him the next morning, and the next, and the next, but instead of answering it, he did what he always did. He distracted himself. Because it's easier. It's easier to scroll than to think, easier to stay busy than to feel, easier to follow a routine than to question it. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and slowly, something inside him started fading. Not in a dramatic way, but in small, quiet ways. He stopped noticing little things, like the way the sky looked in the evening, or how peaceful early mornings felt. He stopped feeling excited about anything because everything felt predictable. Even conversations became automatic. He would nod, respond, laugh at the right moments, but inside, he wasn't really there. Have you ever felt that? Like you're present, but not really living? Like you're watching your own life happen, instead of actually experiencing it? One night, Adam found himself lying awake, staring at the ceiling. No phone this time, no distractions, just him and his thoughts. And they were loud, not shouting, but persistent. Is this it? Is this what my life is going to be? Just repeating the same days, over and over. When was the last time I actually chose something instead of just doing what felt automatic? That question stayed. Because the answer was uncomfortable. He couldn't remember, and that's when he started noticing something. It wasn't that his life was bad. It wasn't that everything was falling apart. It was just that he wasn't really in control of it. His days were being decided by habits, by patterns, by unconscious decisions he never questioned. He wasn't living intentionally. He was just reacting. he realized something simple but deeply unsettling. Most of his life was happening without him. The morning scroll wasn't a choice. It was a reflex. The constant overthinking wasn't awareness. It was a loop. The lack of discipline wasn't laziness. It was disconnection. And maybe that's what this feeling really is. Not hatred for your life, but distance from it. A few days later, Adam decided to try something small. Not a big change. Not a dramatic transformation. Just one pause. The next morning, when he woke up, he didn't reach for his phone. Not immediately. He just stayed still for a few seconds. Then a minute, then two. It felt uncomfortable. His mind kept saying, pick it up, check something, do something. But he didn't. He just stayed. And slowly, something shifted. Not outside, but inside. For the first time in a long time, he felt present, not productive, not motivated, not better, just aware. That small moment stayed with him throughout the day. And he started noticing more. How often he reached for distractions, how quickly he avoided silence, how automatically he moved through everything. It wasn't judgment, it was observation. And that changed everything. Because you can't change what you're not aware of. Days passed, and Adam didn't suddenly become disciplined, or confident, or perfectly mindful. He still overthought, still got distracted, still slipped back into old patterns. But now he noticed, and that noticing created space. A small gap between impulse and action, between thought and response. And in that space, he found something he hadn't felt in a long time. Choice. He realized maybe discipline isn't about forcing yourself. Maybe confidence isn't about being fearless. Maybe growth isn't about becoming someone new. Maybe it's just about waking up. Waking up from patterns, from autopilot, from unconscious living. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we live days we don't even remember? Why do we avoid the very silence that could help us understand ourselves? Maybe because feeling everything at once is overwhelming. Maybe because slowing down forces us to face things we've been ignoring. Maybe because being present requires courage. But there's something important most people don't realize. You don't fix your life all at once. You don't suddenly become a completely different person. You don't escape autopilot in one big moment. You do it in small, almost invisible ways, like pausing before you pick up your phone, like noticing when your mind starts overthinking instead of getting lost in it, like asking yourself, is this what I actually want to do right now? That's it. Simple. Not easy, but simple. One evening, Adam went for a walk. No music, no phone. Just walking. At first, it felt strange, almost boring. But after a while, something softened. He started noticing things again. The sound of footsteps, the rhythm of his breathing, the way the air felt on his skin. Nothing extraordinary, but somehow it felt real. And that's when he understood something quietly powerful. Life isn't empty. We just stop experiencing it. We get so used to rushing, to distracting, to thinking about what's next, that we forget to actually be here. And maybe that's why everything starts to feel meaningless. Not because it is, but because we're not fully there to feel it. Over time, Adam didn't change his entire life. He still had responsibilities, still had routines, still had moments of doubt. But something inside him was different. He wasn't fully on autopilot anymore. He was participating, even if just a little more than before. And that made all the difference. So if you've been feeling stuck, or disconnected, or like something is missing but you can't explain what it is, maybe it's not your life that needs fixing. Maybe it's your presence in it. You don't need a complete reset. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to come back, slowly, gently, moment by moment. Because the truth is, You're not lost. You're just somewhere else in your thoughts, in your habits, in your patterns, and you can return anytime, right now even. Take a breath, pause, notice where you are, not where you think you should be, not where you were, just here. That's where life is. Not in the next scroll, not in the next distraction, but in this quiet, simple moment you usually overlook. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough to begin again. This is the Silent Growth Talks. If this felt like something you needed, you can gently like, share, or subscribe, and come back whenever you need a moment like this. No rush, just whenever you're ready.